Welcome to the MS-Perspektive podcast, Perspektive with a K as I'm German. I'm Nele von Horsten, MS patient, patient advocate and author. I'm bringing you interviews, inspiration and information about living with multiple sclerosis and show you ways how you can positively influence the disease and make the best out of your diagnosis. On ms-perspektive.com you will find the show notes, 11 free tips as a PDF and lots of other information. And now the show begins. Thanks for tuning in again and welcome to episode number 137. Innovative MS Rehabilitation Approaches, Insights from ECTRIMS 2025. Rehabilitation is more than physical recovery. It's about supporting people with MS to live actively, independently and with confidence. In this second episode of our ECTRIMS 2025 mini-series, we explore 5 new studies that highlight how modern rehabilitation is becoming more digital, personalized and holistic. From robot-assisted assessments and tele-rehab programs to caregiver support and integrated care models, the future of MS rehab is already here. Let's start with poster number 1, Smarter Testing, Combining Thinking and Moving in One Digital Tool. The original title is Robot-Based Assessment of Motor Cognitive Dual Task Abilities in Unimpaired Adults. Authors Misley and others. Let's start with the summary. The study tested whether digital tools could reliably measure how well people perform tasks that involve thinking and moving at the same time, a challenge many people with MS face. Although this initial study was done in healthy adults, the goal is to eventually use the approach in MS care. Who took part? 30 healthy adults to test the tool before using it with people with MS. What they did? Participants completed well-known cognitive tests like the trial making and Bell's cancellation tests on both paper and a digital device, sometimes while also doing a physical task. What they found? The digital and paper tests produced similar results with good consistency. The digital versions were sometimes quicker to complete, likely due to easier interaction. These tools could help detect problems in real-life multitasking, e.g. walking while talking, which traditional paper tests may miss. Why it matters? Being able to think clearly while moving is essential for everyday independence. A validated digital test like this could help identify subtle dual tasking challenges earlier and more precisely, and support personalized rehab plans in the future. Evidence level and relevance for patients. It's an early stage feasibility study in healthy adults. Promising first results not yet tested in people with MS. This kind of smart testing could lead to better, more targeted therapies, especially if you struggle with thinking and physical tasks at the same time. Poster number 2, Evaluating Effectiveness of Inpatient Rehabilitation Services at the National MS Rehabilitation Center in Norway. Authors Guns M. and Loining IG and others. Institutions the symptom from Norway, the MS Center at Hakadal AS from Norway, University of Nottingham and Nottinghamshire Healthcare from the NHS Trust from the UK. This study examined how inpatient rehabilitation services affect people with MS, specifically looking at symptom burden, quality of life and psychological well-being. Who took part? 103 people with MS, 87.2% participation rate, aged 26 to 77 at a National Rehabilitation Center in Norway. What they did? Patients were assessed on admission, at discharge and again 6 weeks later. What was measured? Symptom burden, self-efficacy, MS acceptance and physical, psychological impact using a tailored questionnaire package. The results. Significant reduction in symptoms and improvement in self-efficacy and quality of life during the stay. Gains remained partially stable 6 weeks later, so some regression occurred, underlining the importance of ongoing support. Patients valued a balanced approach, time to adapt, regular follow-up, and flexibility in data collection, including digital tools. Why it matters? This is one of the few studies to systematically evaluate MS rehab across physical, psychological, and quality of life domains. It demonstrates that inpatient care helps, but long-term effects require sustained follow-up and potentially digital support. On the Cochrane evidence level, it's level number 2. So its reliability is high, it's a good sample size and validated measures across multiple time points. Relevance, it's very high. It addresses real-world rehab needs and tracks lasting effects. And the takeaway message is that inpatient rehab can greatly improve life with MS, but only continued care, e.g. outpatient or digital programs, can maintain the progress. Poster number 3. The effectiveness of combining a home-based digital motor tailor rehabilitation program with conventional therapy in progressive multiple sclerosis. Authors Straudy S. and others. Reference Digital Health 2025. Let's start with a summary. This multi-center randomized controlled trial investigates whether combining a 12-week digital tailor rehabilitation program with conventional hospital-based therapy provides added benefits for people with progressive forms of MS, so SPMS or PPMS. Who took part? 26 people with progressive MS, mean age 57.4 years, 14 female, 12 male, divided into experimental, EG, and control groups, CG. What they did? Both groups received 10 in-hospital rehab sessions. Only EG, so the experimental group, added a 12-week home-based tailor rehabilitation component 3 times per week. What was measured? Mobility, using the TUG test. Secondary outcomes, cognitive and motor function, fatigue, pain, perceived quality of life, and user satisfaction. The results. There was no significant difference in mobility or functional tests between groups, but only one secondary outcome, illness perception, improved significantly. Participants reported high satisfaction with the tailor rehab system, mean 3.28 by 4, and a positive in-home experience, 7.33 by 10. Technology was well tolerated and affordable. 30% used assistive devices and 21 had home adaptations. Why it matters? While clinical effects were limited in this small sample, the strong acceptability and usability suggests that digital tailor rehabilitation could be a practical, patient-friendly option to maintain rehab continuity, especially for those with mobility or access limitations. Evidence and implications. On the Cochrane level, this is number 2, so early stage randomized controlled trial, but with a small sample size. When it comes to reliability, this is quite a promising approach, but larger trials needed to confirm clinical benefits. The takeaway for patients: if you are living with progressive MS, adding digital rehab at home might not significantly improve outcomes yet, but it's convenient, well tolerated, and could help keep you active and engaged between clinic visits. Poster number 4. Effectiveness of disease management across healthcare settings. This was originally titled Effectiveness of Disease Management Across Health-Providing Settings. The Multiple Sclerosis Center is a pillar for multidisciplinary practices that promote quality of life for people with MS. Authors E. Gregoriadou and others. Summary. This study looked at how receiving MS care in a specialized MS center compares to more general healthcare settings like private clinics. Researchers surveyed 776 people with MS about their care experiences and health outcomes. What they did? They compared patients treated in specialized MS centers to those seen in general practice. What they found? Those treated in MS centers had faster access to doctors and MRI scans, fewer limitations in daily life and mobility, less pain and discomfort, better quality of life. Patients also reported that MS centers adapted better during the COVID-19 pandemic, offering continuous care via telemedicine. Evidence level? This is a large observational study, not a clinical trial. While it can't prove cause and effect, the findings are robust due to the large number of participants and detailed analysis. Why it matters for people with MS? If possible, getting care at a specialized MS center may offer faster diagnosis, more tailored treatment, and better support, leading to a higher quality of life. Especially for people with complex symptoms, this kind of focused, coordinated care can make a meaningful difference. Last poster, number 5. Enhancing Resilience Among MS Family Caregivers, a digital resource called DigiTrack Prioritization Study. Authors, Facolade A. and others. Institutions, Queen's University, University of Ottawa, Providence Care Hospital, all Canada. Summary. This study explored how to design a digital resource to support family caregivers of people with MS who often experience emotional strain, unmet support needs, and high caregiving burdens. It aimed to identify content and feature priorities from both caregivers and healthcare providers to guide the creation of a digital tool that enhances caregiver resilience and well-being. Who took part? Interviews and surveys with 11 MS family caregivers, 4 service providers, and 7 organizational representatives, followed by 60 participants in a national survey, caregivers and professionals. What they did? A 2-phase mixed method study. Number 1, interviews and focus groups identified caregiver needs. Number 2, a national survey ranked content, e.g. MS treatment info, coping skills, and digital tool features. What was measured? Participants' priorities for digital caregiver resources and design preferences like usability, security, and adaptability. Results? Top content priorities included MS treatment information, caregiving skills, caregiver emotional well-being. Top feature priorities included ease of use, privacy and confidentiality, ability to personalize content. Open-ended responses emphasized the need for easy-to-understand formats, multimedia, video, text, audio, accessibility for tech-novice users, and sharing information with healthcare teams. Why it matters? Caregivers often feel alone and overwhelmed. A thoughtfully designed digital tool could offer practical, emotional, and informational support tailored to real needs involving users in the design phase helps ensure the final product is truly helpful and user-friendly. On the Cochrane evidence level, this is not really applicable yet. It's exploratory, qualitative, pre-design phase. Reliability, good conceptual grounding from real-world caregiver voices, but no clinical outcome data yet. Relevance, high as it reflects direct needs of caregivers and could lead to targeted support solutions. Next steps, develop and test the actual digital tool for usability and impact. Takeaway for caregivers, help is on the way. This study is shaping a digital platform just for MS caregivers, focused on your needs in your words. It's still in development, but it's being built with empathy and practicality in mind. So, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content, learned maybe something new, and got inspired to maybe even look a bit deeper into certain topics. And next time there will be the 3rd episode of this mini-series where we will explore coordinated care models, home-based data monitoring, early detection of cognitive and physical changes, and maybe I will find something else. So as always, please stay as active and positive as possible. Recommend the podcast to somebody else who might be interested and rate it wherever you are listening to it. And with that, here next time. Bye! Thank you for listening today. I hope you found it helpful. You may also be interested in the previously published episodes and posts, which you can find at ms-perspektive.com/podcast. Perspective with a K. You can also get a free PDF with 11 tips for your positive impact on MS at ms-perspektive.com/newsletter. If you'd like to get in touch, you can reach me at nele@ms-perspektive.com or on social media. See you next time.